name is Steve Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And again, I beg you this at the beginning of each one of my videos. I put this handy-dandy little clock up to tell you when you can just jump through to. But if you guys can consider hitting the subscribe button, the like button, the share button, all those buttons are fan-dabby-double-dozy, and I am genuinely very, very, very grateful for you doing that. YouTube, as I'm sure you know, prioritizes multi-billion-dollar international conglomerates that are able to give them lots and lots of money, unlike sad little fanboys like myself who scream at their computers in their basements, which is essentially what this is. So I'm so grateful. I'm even giving stuff away. I give stuff away every week. I was doing it each week. Doctor Who was running. The current season is running, and currently you wouldn't know about it because most of the viewers are left, but it's still running. It's going for another couple of weeks, but I'm going to keep doing it. I think Better Call Saul starts next week, and I got Breaking Bad DVD Blu-rays to give away. I can do that. I got a bunch of stuff. Anyway, the giveaway this week is freaking fantastic. It is Doctor Who. The Green Death, a fantastic story. If you're not really into Doctor Who, you've never seen classic Doctor Who, this is a pretty good one. Listen, it was made in 1973. And it looks like it was made in 1973. I just find it kind of charming. You know, I see through the the lack of proficiency in production values. You know, the greens. Although the special effects are actually, I still think, stand up pretty well on this. You know, it's got these giant maggots in, and it's a special edition. It's got these fantastic extras in it. They're really fun, really in depth. Really recommend it. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel being the important bit from my perspective. And then leave the hashtag maggots here in the comments, or you do that on Facebook, on Twitter. I do a search for all of them. I give them. We do the drawing on the TARDIS Zone on Sundays, which airs about 2 hours after Doctor Who airs in the UK. So it's like 9 p.m. UK time, which is 4 o'clock on the East Coast of America, and 1 o'clock on the West Coast. I like to call it the Best Coast. I call it the Best Coast, because my brother-in-law and brother-in-law, his family live in Powerhouse, and they're coming to visit us next week, which I'm really kind of excited about. I think we're all going to be here. It's like all my kids, all their kids. That's a bit weird. I just froze. All my kids, all their kids. So I'm really kind of excited about that. But at the same time, this is a real aside. We had a month or so ago, I noticed the tiles going into my bedroom were kind of like a bit shaky, and whenever there's like something wrong in my house, I tend to ignore it because I'm like, oh, that's gonna be trouble. So I ignored it, and eventually everybody says, listen, we just got to get the insurance in to look at it. So they went drilling these holes, and they say there's this leak underneath. But our house is relatively new. We built our house and moved into it about 12, 13 years ago. But there was this leak underneath the tiles, and they put sand under the tiles in Israel, and all the sand is wet, and they said they got to rip out the floors for they got to rip out the floors for the entire that floor of the house, which my bedroom's on, the kitchen, living room, and so I'm gonna be me and my wife are gonna be living in our basement for a few weeks, which I'm terrified about. Oh my God, if you ever seen the Red Dwarf, where they're all in quarantine, they have one quarantine room they got to be in, and they all end up killing each other. That's what I'm scared it's going to be like. Thank God most of my kids are not home during the week. They just come home for the weekend. So anyways, that's the fun frolics we have looking forward to in the future. So the fun frolics that DC Comics has looking forward to in the future is probably they're going to be closing their publishing arm. My guess within the next 2 years. I'm not really up to date with comic books because comic books are the furthest ahead in I would say the woke culture stranglehold on all our beloved areas of fandom. The comic book industry was ground zero. Well, that's the one where it really hit first. And they've been completely unrepentant about it. They've lost most of their sales, half their sales. The shops have been closing. They lost 10-20% of comic book stores. The direct market is over and they're completely unrepentant. They're like, yeah, everything was great. And they keep doubling and tripling and quadrupling down. DC Comics is a little bit more realistic, I think, than Marvel. DC Comics have been shuttering and closing publications. When Marvel's just like, yeah, let's just put more out there, let's more. But I'm not really up to date on it because they pushed me out of it years ago. Just like literally years ago. So I don't even notice it anymore. This is what it will be like for Star Trek, for Doctor Who, for Star Wars in 3 or 4 years. If they just keep on the course they're on now. If they keep on the course they're on now, then it's a. Although I did hear a rumor, and this is a rumor, complete rumor. Okay, I don't know if it's true. It's a rumor. I don't know it. Okay, but I did hear the rumor, which I hope is true. That Amazon are not interested in a second season of Picard, which would be bad news for Kurtzman Trek. I think that'll probably be game over because I don't see CBS paying for that themselves. I think they can, and without an international distributor, that's going to be kind of funky. So yeah, I just don't see it happening. I think that would be probably the end of their streaming service. So look, take that with a pinch of salt. Who knows what's going to happen. I make no bones about the fact I would like that rumor to be true because I hate the Kurtzman Trek. Picard is okay, but it's not really Star Trek. I'm sorry. Star Trek people were kind of nice. They were nice to each other. They didn't have money in the Federation or poverty. Anyway, so I kind of like that optimistic future that we don't see so much as that. Anyway, that's a massive aside. So DC Comics has this, it seems to me to be a real Hail Mary pass to save themselves. Who bought them? Is it AT&T bought them? And I think they just need to justify their existence. Look, I mean, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all their stuff sells. It's a lifestyle brand. The movies sell. The comic books aren't moving, and so they've done what I think is an act of insanity to try and revitalize themselves. This thing called Generation 5. It was called 5G, but people were protesting 5G, which is a new iteration of what is it? Wi-Fi? Not Wi-Fi. Of internet. I guess the new, what you have in your phone when you're out, whatever it's called. Cellular Internet is a new iteration of that, and apparently that causes it causes some weird health problem, which I have no idea what it does, but it causes some kind of problem. So they rebranded it as Generation 5, and Generation 5 is essentially DC doing SJW Marvel. They take all their iconic characters and they gender and race swap them to make them relevant. And I think this is going to do the same thing to DC as it did to Marvel. I think this is the nail in the final nail in their coffin, because I just don't think there's a market to support it. I really genuinely do not. Much like Marvel, everybody goes, oh, that's shocking, but Vertigo Comics, they shuttered up. Mad Magazine, they shuttered. I can see them shuttering their publishing arm. And they would license out the characters, see who can afford to buy them. I think IDW doesn't have any money left after they've been desperately trying to get a TV show going. I think is it them into Lock and Key, which I'm on the 3rd episode of. I quite like it. But it's not a Stranger Things, It's not like a cultural moment. It's okay. It's watchable. I'll finish the season. I'll probably watch the second season as well, unless it gets much, much, much better. But it's okay. So I don't see them being able to license. I wonder, I would love some Comicsgate people to go. Listen, if I was a billionaire, wouldn't you love to buy Green Lantern and just give it to Ethan Van Sciver? So here, poof, take this, do what you want with it, enjoy. Wouldn't you love to buy Watchmen and give it to Alan Moore? Say, listen, you were screwed over, mate, royally. This belongs to you. Oh, that'd be lovely. Actually, you know what? I'd love to give DC. I'd like to buy DC Comics. And give it to Alan Moore. Say, listen, we treated you very badly. We're sorry. You're a little bit outlined to buy here. You take this. You can do what you want with it. That would be interesting. Wouldn't you like to see that? I'd like. Oh, your boy Zach, becoming editor-in-chief. Richard Dumais. I think all this stuff would be fantastic. But none of it's gonna. Actually, I can see Richard Dumais having enough capital to license characters, especially if his lawsuit with Mark Waid, I think it's got about another year to go by the sounds of it, but that's probably going to be a major payout. And wouldn't it be great if the money he gets from that, he goes to buy Superman or Batman or something? Oh my God, that'd be incredible. Because the licensing, I would love to see that, but I don't think, wanting that kind of justice in the world is unrealistic. But here's what I think they should be doing. Because this Generation 5 thing just sounds dumb. Sounds like a dumb idea. Yeah, what I think they should do is go for the most classic version of their character, the most classic like Silver Age version of their characters. Like the pair them back to like who they really were like real icons of decency and morality from a forgotten age. And then you want to make it relevant. But again, make them really classic. But then we want to make it relevant. Put those characters in this world and see how they would interact with it. How would a Silver Age Superman like interact with it? And then listen, my mind goes to weird places. I would like to see Superman see some of the degradation, how we've degenerated as a culture, as a nation. Because really think in the last 20 years we have significantly degenerated, and have to deal with issues there. How would Silver Age Superman approach transgenderism, for example? How would Silver Age Superman again, my mind goes to dark places. I would like to see how Silver Age Superman. What would happen if he found out that Perry White was like putting in fake news or spin or something like that, or he had someone who was covering up some kind of like Harvey Weinstein thing. Like, what would Silver Age Superman do? These are interesting questions to me. I'd love to see that. Silver Age Wonder Woman, Silver Age Green Lantern, Batman. I'd like Batman. Again, I said Alan Moore. I've mentioned him a few times this, but Alan Moore always had this idea of like just going for the absurdity of Batman, like seeing what Batmite, Bat Dog, all that sort of stuff. And I don't see how it would work, but I would like to see something like that pull it off. And then if you wanted to have like a more diverse cast, if you want to have more women, you want to have more people of color, whatever, you want to have a more diverse cast, create new heroes for that new universe that are organic to it and like can join up with the classic characters, and you can seg them into it. You can create them and it's organic and it works. And the other thing I think they should really be thinking about is abandoning the floppy model. I think the floppy model has had its day. I think the periodicals had its day. I think the reason why I think manga does well, other than it have being emotionally engaging, even though it's not for me, I've never been a manga person, but the reason I think manga does well, they put out thick books which gives you a full story, a beginning, middle, and end. It gives you a full, experience. So I think they'll probably be better releasing like 4 Batman graphic, but like 100, 200 page graphic novels a year in one strand, for example. And then you alternate each week, like each month you release another. You can have like one creative team do this one. Again, you have several Superman comics. You have Action Comics, and you had Superman. You have several different. You can have a monthly release schedule, but instead of going to the comic book store and buying these floppies that people generally don't want, have them buy like first run graphic novels of like, I don't know, 100, 120 page, kind of like the stuff that Comicsgate does, like Sweetcast, Downcast, for example. I really would like to review that for the channel, or Cyberfrog, or any Jawbreakers, like that sort of model. That's the sort of thing I think works better. I think it's more interesting. People would rather than have like a 20-minute read, would rather have like an hour read or a 2, and have a full experience. So I think they're just going completely the wrong direction. I really do, and I think this is the nail in the the hammer in the nail. The hammer in the nail for DC Comics. This is the beginning of it. There's a great speech from Picard at the first episode of Best of Both Worlds. That's one where he's taken over by Star Trek Next Generation, I should say, where it's taken over by the Borg, and he's like, the Borg's about to attack. Said, are we the Romans and the Visigoths are about to come over the hill? Like some really cool historical reference which I didn't know about. I learned a little bit of history because of Star Trek. That's kind of how I feel about DC Comics. Is this their last Hail Mary pass? And I don't think this is going to do it for them. What do you think? I would love to hear what you think. My name is Svila Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And if you want to win that DVD, The Green Death, starring John Pertwee, Katy Manning, don't forget to subscribe, and the hashtag maggots. And have yourself a fantastic day.